Hello, hello. COINHOLDER is here. Mackenzie is here. And we have new people ready, ready to take off. Ready to take off. Are we crashing or are we mooning?
It's a
That's a
pleasure to
good
be here
question.
with you, Albert, my dear friend.
Everybody is excited, and we haven't done any space in quite a while. We're not
Looks
expecting
like
it.
looks like we got looks like we got the heavy hitters in the space so far. We
Yeah,
got
we got
Levi,
a.
we got Mac.
Yes,
Hey boys,
we got Levi, Mac, we got all the whales. All the
How are you,
whales are
Levi?
here.
much love, gentlemen.
Everybody is our positions are all we're all locked and ready. Ready to take off. Solo Coreum XRP to the moon.
Yeah, and if you guys have any questions, this space wasn't planned out at all, but if you have any like questions about, short-term roadmap, long-term roadmap, I can, definitely fill some or at least splash some color on any questions you guys have. But this space was super spontaneous. I know we're gonna have a space on I believe Wednesday with Leap Wallet,
Oh,
just going over all the new features that they're going to be adding for Coreum. But this is an open space. If anyone's wants to join in, chime in, feel free. This space is open sourced, so it's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to be building for the community and the general population, and I couldn't be here without you guys. So you know, again, it's an honor.
It's an
absolutely.
honor to be here with you too, brother.
What time is it in Nairobi?
8:40 a.m.
Ah, okay, it's still early. It's early. It's early. Well, I think that Leap Wallet, I did the Michael. I gave you my inputs there. I mean, it works perfectly on desktop. So even if you log out and log in, it would show all the associated sub wallets that you have under that, under that seed phrase. But it works in the desktop version.
Yeah,
In the mobile version, there's some issues
and
for
that's
now.
exactly why I wanted to have a space. I wanted to make sure because I know there were some issues at the beginning of the mainnet.
Hmm.
I think there were some bugs, so I wanted them to actually vocally address these things because I'm pretty keen on looking at Twitter and trying to kind of get a gauge of what the community sentiment is.
Hmm.
With that being said, uh, that's why I wanted them to actually, you know, vocally talk to you guys because they weren't really responsive via Twitter. Um, so yeah, I think this is going to clear up a lot of the air when it comes to these small bugs. But again, everything seems to be running pretty smoothly on my end, at least.
Yeah, and shout out to you and your team for facilitating all the partnerships and striking all the partnerships with the wallets. And I mean, you just called me today, and some of these wallets that are very popular to the mainstream are going to be supporting Corium in their wallets. So sooner or later, there will be more people that would, it will pick the interest of people that would start to see, oh, what is this coin? What is Corium? Once you see Corium in these wallets, like whether it's like Exodus or Trust Wallet, or I don't know if Coinbase Wallet or any of these wallets that are mainstream, people will start to check it out, you know, and they will start to see whether there's a vibrant community. They're probably going to see core council there. They're going to start to see people like us talk about how big Corium will be, even though the price doesn't show it now. But I think it's all about the community, and we call Corium a community-based blockchain. So there's no other way for us. We need to start building from a community level, and I'm quite excited that even after this big airdrop, I actually thought that the dump will be much harder, but then now I'm starting to see that people are taking interest in Coreum, Michael, and you have a bunch of projects lined up that includes your web your was this hackathon next week. Maybe you can share a little bit more about the hackathon. That would be awesome.
Yeah, no, definitely. So the hackathons we're sponsoring the Consensus Hackathon. It's going to be alongside OKX Chain, XDC, Polkadot, Solana, uh, kind of the heavy hitter projects right now. I mean, I'm not super keen on them. I've really never used those ecosystems, so I'm not going to really speak on them, but that's what our main goal right now is. I mean, you can build a great technology. It could be fast. It could be the fastest technology. It could be the most scalable blockchain you can build. But essentially, you need people to build on it and know about it. So that's one of our main goals is to have, kind of local developers build their solutions on Coreum. Um, so, we're really excited about the hackathon. It actually started, I think it was yesterday, but it's based online. But I know there's, I think, like 20 teams that are participating. But again, I could be wrong. I think it's like 15 teams. But yeah, we're
And
excited.
that's
We're excited
huge.
to see which project has actually built out the best solution. That's essentially what it's all about.
Are they free to build whatever they want, or is it going to be like a challenge given to them and a case that they need to come up with a solution using Corium blockchain? I don't know.
No, that's a great question. Well, specifically for this hackathon, we're having the teams build solutions oriented around smart tokens. So that's one of the it's one of the unique features on Corium is the fact that you can embed smart contracts into the actual token itself. We've heard of a lot of hacks and even exploits on smart contracts in the past, and there's been billions of dollars lost from that. When it comes to that, it's one of those solutions where it's very secure because they're not prone to hacks when you can actually embed them into the actual token itself because it wouldn't disrupt the entire chain if there were to be a hack, but essentially it couldn't even happen.
Yeah, well, we're excited because is this going to be the first hackathon for Corium blockchain?
This will be the first one, and we're actually in touch with this project or company, if you will. I'm not sure if I can say the name of it just yet, but they're keen on running a validator on Coreum, and they're going to essentially use 90% of the rewards to facilitate, future hackathons, and that's really amazing because it's a win-win in everyone's situation because they're securing the network, while they're also facilitating the hackathons using the rewards for the prize pool. So it's a sustainable initiative, in the future where we can do this consecutively in the future.
Yeah, and having these, I mean, it's a new model actually for VCs to run a validator, and at the same time, it's like a new Y Combinator style of validator. They can start to fund these pet projects, and with the rewards coming from the validator, it's actually a brilliant idea, Michael. I think that might scale as you start to see these young and budding entrepreneurs and developers studying in these Ivy League universities or known tech universities, and as they start to build these interesting use cases, it's going to be like a gradual. The way I see it, you're actually building from the ground up. You're building from the university level. You're planting the seeds for the next generation to take over this new blockchain. this new green and mean blockchain called Coreum. I do see, yeah, I see this as a huge potential, and that's part of what you need to do as well to make the. I think Bob said in a tweet like your focus on number of new users growth. Uh, and I believe that's the best strategy. Coin holder. I think that strategy will scale, and I'm quite interested to cover these new like maybe we'll interview in core council the winners, the grand champions that are building in Coreum. Uh, Maybe by next month we'll start to see them.
No, definitely. And you make great points when it comes to building from the ground up. That also starts with the community as well. But with also, I do see that there's a lot of different companies reaching out to us that have already, created a valuable company or business that are keen on utilizing blockchain technology. And, that's, in my opinion, that's even more valuable than building native things on Coreum, like a DEX. Oh, great, there's a DEX, great. But, is that really valuable? I mean, sure, it is valuable, it is, but when it comes to Coreum, it's more app focused. So it's more for businesses or enterprises who are trying to utilize blockchain technology and employ this system into their existing infrastructure. So that's more valuable than I think building native little, a DEX or an NFT marketplace, which is amazing. But again, we're waiting on regulation to actually give us that green light to see more use cases built out for NFTs and so on. But it really starts with the Web2 companies to really start to migrate over to blockchain. And those are the people that we're actually really keen on talking to and already in the process of doing a lot of R&D work with them.
Okay, so you mean to say these not just small and medium enterprises, but known institutions who are probably taking interest in your technology as a superior technology that's easy for them to onboard and migrate some of their solutions. Uh, do you foresee from what I'm hearing from Bob is that it's a 9 month transition for you to win it big by the end of the year. But are we seeing, and I'm sure there are some NDAs coming on your end that you can't share these companies that are going to start building on Corium. But can you give some indication like are these like really big institutions that we're looking at? I mean without mentioning, the exact
Yeah, no, I mean, I can
institutions.
mention that there's 9 AI companies that are fairly big that are going to form an alliance and start building out, solutions on top of Coreum with their AI
Oh
tech.
wow.
So again, I'm not allowed to really talk about the names of the company just yet, but just to give you an idea, that's really what I see in the future that's going to be pretty prominent is AI tech. So we're going to really
By,
spearhead that, especially
and by
with
the way, we have
enterprises.
Crypto Eyes here. We have Crypto Eyes here. Crypto Eyes, just say hello and introduce yourself to everyone again.
Oh, thank you very much, Albert. Michael, how are you guys? Um, yeah, I would like first of all to apologize to everybody because it's been a while since we hosted some spaces under core council. I think after LA, we were all busy coming back, international trip and so on. But it's good to see everybody still here, and I'm glad Michael is here as well to give some positive information about everything that's going on with Corium, Sologenic, and so on. So yeah, so I'm pleased to also announce that we'll be having more frequent spaces, just to have our own community engaged and participating, asking questions, and also just building that confidence with everybody about our ecosystem, Corium. So good to have everybody back.
Yeah, and yeah, we're glad to be back, and I believe that we were all just fatigued after a huge successful party at the mainnet. That was swashbuckling, exciting, and out of this world type of event that we had. And I wish I was able to see Camel there. Camel is another big whale from Saudi Arabia. Camel, welcome to the stage. Camel, we should have seen you. We should have met you there at Cornova.
It's Ramadan. Ramadan, we are fasting. So, how are you doing, guys?
Great,
Uh,
Camel.
hi,
Pleasure to have you
Coin.
here, my friend.
What's up, Camel King?
Yeah, how are you doing, guys? Good, good. Uh, yeah, a lot of people they are asking me, they are asking me about projects built on Coreum blockchain. Are the holders of Coreum going to be eligible for airdrops from those projects built on Coreum blockchain?
Definitely. Yeah, and it's really up to the individual projects on if how they're really structuring what they're doing, if they have tokens or but I can imagine that there would be some incentives for the network that they're building on for people to actually utilize their tech. So if there's I'd say 99%, if there's going to be a project building on Coreum, then if there's an airdrop, they're going to be, definitely keen on giving it to the community. But with that being said, I think it's good to note that with IBC, you're eligible for different airdrops within the IBC protocol. So any chain that's built on that protocol I think it's pretty much within just Cosmos. It's all interoperable. So you're eligible for, any airdrop. If it really depends on if the project is going to be airdropping it to Coreum holders. It's mostly just to Atom holders because Atom is more prominent. It's more of like the general token. And mostly people have that token within Cosmos. So that's really, I believe that Coreum is going to be bigger than Atom, just based off the chief functionalities that has natively built on it. I think that Atom is more like Bitcoin, and in a way, Coreum is kind of like Ethereum, you know, in a technical standpoint. Uh, you know, does that make sense, Camel?
Yeah, it means like it has like more flexibility for development, things
Exactly,
like that.
exactly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, that was my question. So thank you, Albert, for hosting
You're
the space.
always you're always welcome. I know last
Crypto
year
Eye, welcome back, Crypto Eye.
Crypto
Thank you.
Eyes, like, what questions do you have for our good friend Coinholder?
Um,
Just to excite everybody who's listening now, we have 28 people listening. Great.
First, I would say Ramadan Kareem to Camel King. And yeah, I think he's the only person of Islamic faith in here. Everybody else, Ramadan Kareem if you're Muslim. So the question I wanted to ask Coin Holder is, I miss you, man. I got to see you in LA and you're a fun guy. We had so much fun together. Um, and I think that's one of the big take from the LA trip, if I would share that with our community. It was different going to the Cornova after hosting like many spaces and speaking to everybody, but getting to meet people in person and getting to interact, having a drink together, you get to see who these people are really are, like, how genuine some people are. And one of the best experience I will actually share with you guys before we talk technical, because I just want to give shout outs to all the good people that I met over there. Um, Meeting Reza and Bob, I had a different expectation because, many CEOs of companies would not casually just speak to any random people. But at Conova, they were very approachable. You can see in the video, very friendly. You could approach them. You could say hello. And I had a very long, extensive conversation with Bob for about half an hour or so. And it's just down to earth, guys. So it helps you understand that the people that are building the Coreum ecosystem, they're very nice people, and that matters a lot because you want to be dealing with people that have a basic sense of decency, pretty much. So that was a take from Conover. And apart from that, there was so many other VCs and amazing people from our community, Zen Lounge community, um, NFTs. Everybody was there, and it was a pleasure to meet all these people. I guess what I want to ask more, if CoinHolder can help people understand um, where we're up to so far as far as development for Coreum itself. I know the mainnet happened last month. What are we looking forward to, or what is the milestone that the team is trying to achieve in the next, let's say, 4 or 5 months down the track?
No, that's an amazing question. And again, I really appreciate all the kind words. It was such an honor to meet you in person. But essentially, right now, it's all about education because we do want people to be keen on learning about new technology within blockchain technology. Um, with that being said, there's multiple businesses and enterprises that we're already in touch with that are looking to build out solutions within Coreum or actually even employ the core token within their workflow. Because the Coreum token, you can actually embed smart tokens or smart contracts into the token itself. So, there's extendable functionality to it. So with that being said, we're talking to about 9 AI companies, like I said, and they're going to be forming an alliance to build out their own solutions within Coreum because, that's, like I said, that is the most rapid growing technology right now is AI, and we're trying to spearhead that within blockchain. And especially when it comes to enterprise grade solutions, you need that extension, with AI. So we're trying to lay out the groundwork for the actual blockchain to make it usable, in a sense, for the companies or businesses that are already trying to, utilize it. They're trying to enroll their own solutions to it as well.
I
That's
think I think Ice, you're one of those that are very keen on the future of AI, right? You're very bullish on the future of AI. What are your initial thoughts after hearing from CoinHolder that they're working on this consortium of what 9 powerful AI companies to build on Coreum? What's the first thing that went to your mind when you heard that?
actually, I'm using AI a lot in my everyday life. You guys have no idea how amazing AI is for everything. For everything I do, I use AI. From editing pictures to doing research, it's just very, very good. And the adoption of AI based on the research that I'm doing is it's like a pandemic. It's expanding very fast. And having AI on Corium, that will definitely be something I can see that will bring a lot of value to the entire ecosystem. So that is a very good news to hear. And also, maybe if I can ask you a different question, Michael, um, I believe it was already announced about the first grantees of the first wave of grantees that received the grant from Corium. Is there anything more you can tell us about these grantees? When are they going to come onto the blockchain? What impact they will have on the blockchain? While we wait for the second wave, because I know you guys are in the process of processing the second wave of grantees. What can you tell us about the first wave?
Yeah, definitely. We've been in close talks with all of the grantees. Some of them, like Decent, they really don't need to do anything on their end. It's just, they're offering, cold storage wallet support. But when it comes to Amber and Telios and Zeev, all of these different, companies that received the grant, they're actively building on the chain right now. They're building, some of them are building kind of slowly, but they are expanding. They are actually utilizing the grant right now because we just launched the mainnet. So they're expanding more I guess more their development team.
That's really good. I'm pleased to hear that because the most important thing for me was after the main launch is to hear that there are things being developed on chain. Because the more we have on-chain activity, the more we have new dApps being built on the chain, it's what will make the difference because it will allow adoption for the blockchain and it will allow um, awareness pretty much because different grantees will bring or advertise the chain that they're building on to other communities and bring them to the Coreum ecosystem or to our community. So that's something I wanted to hear, and I think it will be good, especially for most investors in here, to see that they're investing in a blockchain that is still young, still new, still being developed, and there are things being built on as we speak. We might not see that translate in value every day, but as time goes by, I'm sure every project will bring utility and value to the Coreum ecosystem. So thanks for that.
Yeah, definitely.
We have
And for the wave, I wanted to touch on wave two. For that, we're orienting those grants around the smart token technology. And we're also going to be hosting a lot of different events like workshops with, different universities and things like that, and kind of scouting out teams that are, willing and able to actually start building their own use cases. We see kind of two sides to it, more so one side would be the kind of local developers who are trying to build out more of their organic solutions, if that makes sense. Like more so like DeFi, like if they want to build out like a game or something, that's definitely something we're looking for. But right now, we're actually looking for companies that are already established and that are creating value as we speak and are just trying to utilize blockchain. And they've never even, they've never utilized blockchain and they're actually just keen on R&D and looking into, uh, you know, incorporating it into their workflow. So
We
we
have a
see,
question here by Snake. Snake has been raising his hand. Is your question related to smart tokens, Snake?
Hey, good evening. Good morning, everybody.
Yeah.
My name is Sick Person 86. I'm a member of SGS, Soul Justice Society, and
Oh.
co-founder of DGen Titans and XRP Family. So thank you guys for having me. I just wanted to just add to what Albert was mentioning earlier about the Core Nova event. I got to see the Core Council live in action, and a great group of guys. And I've been in a lot of blockchain events in the past, from Ethereum to Cardano, and I just went to Coreum this year, and I can tell you guys from all the ones I've been to, this is probably the biggest party I've been at, with a lot of legends in the building. And I got to meet COINHOLDER as well on a personal level at the NFT LA, where we were hosting a booth. But my question for regarding Coreum was, I just wanted to see when the smart contracts were going to start being compatible with within the XRPL. If you guys had a time frame for that, and then also just wanted to see if you guys had any news regarding the marketplaces coming up, so we can have NFTs minted on there. Since I'm a dev and founder myself for an NFT project, I would love to, me personally, build on the Coreum blockchain with the transaction speed. With XRP, man, I mean, anybody that knows XRP or has minted anywhere else, I've tried them all. Tried all the blockchains. It's really fast and easy to use. Where anybody from any level of expertise as far as crypto can just come in here and use it pretty easily.
you're an absolute legend, Snake. It's an honor to have you here, my friend. Um, so I could touch on the NFT marketplace really quickly. We expect that to be built out probably by the end of Q2. Xpunks actually was talking to me, and we met up in LA. The Xpunks, they actually wanted to build out the first NFT marketplace on Coreum. So we're going to see kind of like what our options are, who's going to really be keen on building, a nice UI, a nice UX. I think that they can actually do it because their team is, they're pretty well established in my opinion, and they're actually really great guys. So we're looking for, people who have built out solutions before, and I think they have a project that's pretty big on the XRPL as well. But yeah, we're looking forward to having them build out potentially a solution on Coreum with NFTs. Um, and then, what was your other question?
I just wanted to know when the smart contract capabilities were going to take effect with the XRP. I know reading the white paper, devs are going to be able to start doing that. And I feel like once that takes effect with Coreum, this is going to fly personally, because a lot of people don't really understand like the development side. Um, with the transaction speed that you guys are having, I'm very bullish on Coreum personally. So that's kind of what my question was, when uh, the devs will be able to use smart contracts.
As soon as the IBC compatibility is released, which would be the end of Q3, that'll be when the interoperability between Cosmos and XRPL will be enabled.
Perfect. That's all the questions I have. And thank you very much, Albert, and the core council. These guys are absolute legends, and it's a pleasure to be here.
It's a pleasure also to be able to meet you. Well, I don't know how you look because your picture. Probably we were able to talk at the event. I'm trying to recognize like your voice to see who you are. Try to guess who you were.
I
Uh,
had a lot of drinks that night, so it's kind of hard to remember.
yeah, I know. But thanks for your kind words. Like we're just here. We want to build an inclusive and happy and energetic community. You can see it. Like most of the people who are listening now, more than half of them actually attended the event. It was my first time to have drinks with Joe Su, and we probably drank and had chats until the wee hours of the night. We probably went back to our hotels at 5 a.m. But that was kind of cool to meet the different faces behind these emojis and NFT profile pictures. But it's great because many of us were in Coreum from the very beginning, from the very first airdrop, and we were able to withstand the FUD. And now, we made it to mainnet, and now many of us are just so heavily into Coreum that we're unshakable at this time, even though we know that the price hasn't really gone up by much. But then we see the little tidbits coming from Bob specifically, and now CoinHolder has spent his time out of his busy schedule. I know it's very late where he is, but still he said let's do a space, Albert, and it's good to actually be able to just chat with the different ones from the community and just give them some updates on what's happening. What I could see and read from Bob, he has this most recent tweet on Road to the Top, and he said Corium's growth cycle highlights the 9-month plan, focusing on expanding partnerships and network reach. The goal is to attract more developers and enterprises to build on Corium official infrastructure. And then this is his mathematical equation: more apps is equal to more active users is equal to global adoption. And CoinHolder, I know, and this is something that I'd like to ask you also so that you can answer it publicly. Don't worry, I'll ask you questions that I think you should be able to there's no NDA for you to share it, but uh, I'm assuming that you're working with these uh, not just American based companies, right? You're working to expand, whether it's through your partnerships, through universities, and I would say in every region in the world, including Europe and Asia.
Definitely, yeah. And a lot of even our existing partners are, they're very helpful on, giving us different introductions or You know, a lot of them are actually pretty interested to learn more about the smart token technology in particular, because it does
Mhm.
unlock a lot of different possibilities for programmable money. You know, even with your
Mm.
even with your startup, Albert, you know, this is a
Yeah.
technology that can change a lot of people's lives. And when you can automate this system, it's really the sky's the limit. And, you know, we're talking to some Filipino-based exchanges that, you know, are connected with the governments and different institutions that you know, are looking for something like this. And, you know, I'm not going to say that we're directly working with them right now, those people in particular, but, you know, there are
Mhm.
conversations that are happening like as we speak. So, you know, I'm actually really excited about it because I've been in crypto for a really long time as far as like researching different protocols and blockchains. And, you know, I've always loved the XRP ledger. And you know, I've always been a little conflicted with the lack of smart contracts or certain capabilities, but you know, that's what makes the XRP ledger great. Is, you know, it's the simplicity of it, the fact that it's super fast and cheap. Um, you know, that's why I like it. And with Coreum, you know, it's like the best of both worlds. You know, you have all of that plus smart contracts, and you know, just a cherry on top, you can actually extend that with smart tokens. So, uh, you know, I feel like I'm in the right place. Genuinely, I do. And yeah,
Please stay, and please stay safe. The Corium team needs the youth, the energy, and also your collective experience. You know, the past 2 days you were in the space and you were telling everybody you know it's your past and the mistakes that you've done in your investments that made you very bullish on Corium and the future. And that's something that I would say is the same thing that Crypto Ice went through. He was there in the early days when his brother was telling him to buy Bitcoin, and Bitcoin was so cheap back then. And he realized that probably it's hindsight is 2020, but at the same time, all the mistakes he did has made them build a very strong position in Corium. And I think Corium is built to last. Coin holder, I could see it that you're 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 pursuing that the avenue where the build up and the increase in users won't be artificial, but rather you're doing it at the university level, accelerator partnerships, and I think that is a sustainable model. Today you mentioned about a VC that of course, you cannot name, but the strategy for that VC is to be able to become like probably a validator to be able to fund and finance their pet projects on the Corium blockchain. This is exciting because if you do have that solution that you're continuing to build with your development team, which makes it superior in terms of smart tokens and transactions per second and interoperability, then uh, I think it's a matter of being able to build the right network. As what you said, the network expansion team coming from what Bob mentioned, you're building a very strong business development and networking team. I know he mentioned in the past. I don't know if you're allowed to share the name of that person, the marketing director from Ripple, who's spearheading your team. Has he? I mean, has that person joined your team already?
yeah, he's joined the team, and he's been in almost every single meeting I've been in. He's spearheading more so of the hackathons, workshops, and uh, kind of the educational component of it.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, when you first get a job, you know, with any foundation or any development foundation, you want to just kind of be an observer. So he
Mm-hmm.
wasn't really saying much at first. I almost thought that he was just observing our meetings to see which person to pick off. You know, who is he going to fire or something like that. But I mean, really, he was just trying to get a gauge of how we do things, and you know, things like that. I honestly thought that he was kind of an asshole, but he's a really nice guy. Just he is really nice, and he's a very professional guy. I'm actually very happy he's on the team.
Wow, wow, and it's great to. I mean, it's great to hear that you have a heavy hitter that has joined your team to expand and fulfill the mission of Coreum, and I know Bob is building his dream team. There's a bunch of young ones like you and Fabio, and now you start to hire some of these seasoned veterans to like a former championship player to join your team, and that's great that your team is expanding. My question to you next is like, do you what do you think is the greatest challenge for your team now? Like, I know that you have a very strong technology focus in your team, but what could be another challenge that you think is going to be tough, but at the same time, knowing your team, you'll be able to, I guess, accomplish it. Is there anything that you think is something that you could share, and maybe a community like Core Council can help you out in that arena?
Yeah, no, that's an amazing question. I'm trying to get the right answer, but I guess I'll just, I guess how I
There's no
could, I
right or
guess,
wrong,
yeah,
but go ahead.
exactly. But I guess I would say, the educational piece to it. I guess you guys have been doing such an amazing job, putting on these spaces and getting a good reach within even just Twitter. I mean, Albert, you're global, my friend, but you've been doing such an amazing job as a huge contributor to the ecosystem, whether it be XRPL or Coreum or Sologenic, all of you guys. And I guess the biggest challenge would be on more the broader side would be, future regulation. It's unforeseeable what they're going to, regulate out or, deem illegal. But we're gathering a lot of information from what we're getting now within like different statements that are getting put out. And, even when it comes to a DEX, we might implement a quick KYC before anybody can trade on the DEX. But again, that's not crystallized just yet. But, that's just something that we, are looking into because, we want to make sure that we are on the right side of regulation. But again, when it comes to the tech, it's really not. That's our best friend right there is the tech because we believe that the XRPL and the Cosmos ecosystem and what both ecosystems provide. It's just very instrumental to have both, in my opinion. And a lot of tribalism, it ruins synergies. It really does. There's different ecosystems that I'd like to get in touch with, but a lot of the community sentiment can kind of dismantle that synergy, So, I'm hoping that a lot of different, CEOs or founders from different ecosystems can, take away that tribalistic trait, because we're all trying to build out solutions. We're all trying to build, something good for the general population. We're trying to be a contributor, and if we can all work together, that's much better, in my opinion. I'm
Absolutely.
all about inclusivity. And if anybody is tribalistic, it's such a waste. It really is. It's so sad in my opinion. You know, it's all about the money for
I was going
people.
to do
It's
that,
all about
Michael.
the money for people. But we have a more macro view on how things are going to be run, when it comes to the tech. And we think that
Absolutely.
including all of these ecosystems, where there's synergy, we're open to talk. We're open to a discussion.
Yeah,
You have any
and of course,
question? Crypto Eyes, go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna add up to the same point that um, And that's what I keep saying I want to see end, because a lot of people are focused, like a lot of the spaces I go in, a lot of people are focused on specific token, like, and not the ecosystem. And that is the problem, because if when we talk about Coreum, we say Coreum has IBC, it's a blockchain communication, and that is something that will differentiate really Coreum with most blockchain. And you can see that the founders or the developers of Coreum, they are trying to connect every other blockchain, despite the utility, despite the use cases that they have on that blockchain, they kind of bring them together. And as investors, we have to have the same mindset. Okay, don't just look at a coin like and say, oh, XRP this, XRP that. Look at the XRPL. And I want people to start differentiating that when they speak about XRP or XRPL, differentiate that. Understand that XRPL, the blockchain, the ledger itself, um, is a very good ledger. And when we talk about the things that are being built on the ledger, and those things, those amazing products that exist there, like for example, we have our marketplace for NFTs on Sologenic. We have um, other projects that are there. I can see most of the guys in here are building on Sologenic NFT marketplace. When we talk about the XRPL, we are having all this technology communicating with Coreum at the same time. And that interoperability capability is what Michael is, I'm sure, is talking about, the ending the tribalism and thinking that one blockchain is better than another. We have to change the mindset and think all the blockchain working together is
Yeah, we
better.
have to all be more, we all have to be more business, like more business minded, we have to think of
Absolutely.
it as a business. We're all working for, if you're invested in the token, then let's all come together, because the community sentiment, it does hinder on, some of the CEOs and, founders, uh, you know, perspective, on some projects. When there's synergy all around, I see it all around. It's just, not to blame any of the community, but I'm just trying to get my point across that, this tribalism, it just needs to stop, because whether you like it or not, it's going to be a multi-chain system, whether it be NFTs, it's all going to be interoperable, you know. Maybe not all the chains, because some of them are limited, but a good amount of them are going to be interoperable with each other.
Hey,
Very good.
we have a question here from oh, he just left, but Mr. Clark said, "How do we get that solo logo in our profile?"
I have to talk to Elon.
Yeah.
I
can,
actually,
can you
I have to go through. I have to talk to Bob. He'll go through. He'll
yeah,
go
okay.
through Elon's agent. Gotta
Okay.
go up. Gotta go up the ladder.
Damn, like can you tell Bob to vouch one for core council? Maybe core council can have our logo there. Just make us like a cut above the rest. Yeah, I know we have the core
That
council jackets, and thanks for that,
would be
Mackenzie. But
awesome.
it will be also cool to have that logo.
We need the green check mark.
Yeah, the green check mark. Yeah, Levi, correct.
Yeah.
That is awesome. I'll talk to Elon.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
Ice, do you have any other question for Michael? Because on our end, we're doing our best, Michael. Oh, sorry for doxing you. Your name is CoinHolder on live.
No,
I
no,
always
it's
call you
okay. I
by your
don't.
first name.
I don't even
Well,
mind. I really don't mind.
okay, fine.
Um,
Albert, you're a snitch. You just snitched on him. He was trying to keep his identity anonymous, and now
that's really
everybody
not
knows.
even. I mean, that's not even really. I really don't care.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
it's
okay.
funny. Like I just know you so well that it's hard for me to call you CoinHolder, right? It's like it's hard for people to call me like AG Riddlers if they know my name is
I'm honestly
Albert.
surprised every time you call me coin holder because I really don't mind. I thought a lot of people know my first name, but
Oh,
you can find me on LinkedIn at Michael McCaffrey.
Correct.
you know what, Michael? I talk to Albert every day because we organize all our events, all the things we do behind the scene for core council, and he calls me Eyes. So I'm like, dude, you know my name.
You guys are awesome.
We
And
talk every day, and I'm like, he used my Twitter handle to call me. Literally, we were sitting face to face in LA, and he's using my Twitter handle in my face. And I'm like, Albert, man. Oh, my. But yeah,
Right in front of you, I call you Crypto Eyes.
I'm
we're
like,
all secret
dude.
agents.
Yeah, but it's good. Like, I just want to say something to the community that we've come a long way as core council, and we're happy that Albert and yourself, Michael, you're here and you're spilling truth to the community. That being said, a lot of the work that we do, and the big drive that goes behind us most of the time, and people don't get to see this, is also other members of the core council that push us. You know, Albert and I, we get pushed by, we have Clayton, we have Marco, and Scott. I said he's a powerhouse of a guy. A lot of our work and a lot of the things that we achieve with core council, actually, Scott is the man with the muscle that make us all move. And as we're moving ahead with the project that we will announce soon to the community, um, man, I always want to give credit to everybody and thank my team because we are all doing an amazing job. And just because you don't see them speaking on the panel, they are the one moving, Albert and I. And thank you guys.
Oh yeah. There are days I want to quit, and Mackenzie said, "No, don't quit. You gotta do this." And then, like Mackenzie scares me to death. Okay, let me keep it going. But it
Get to
is
work,
very.
Albert.
I
Get
know.
to work.
Get to work. Yeah, we gotta do this. Yeah, it's you've invested too much in this. People are expecting a lot from you, so stop it. Like take a few days off and get back going. But but
I
Before
think
Mackenzie,
I
go
have to go pretty soon because it's 2:30 in the morning. But like
mm,
I said, this whole space it's open source. If anybody wants to, hop up, ask a couple questions, I'm totally down to stay for a couple extra minutes.
please.
So
Ice, do you have any other additional questions to Michael, other than the recent tweets by Bob
I
and what
do.
he's busy with? Go ahead.
I do. There's one thing that came out before Coreum was went live, and that was the issue with between Sologenic and Coreum. And a lot of the time, people believed, and maybe I'm just asking you to clarify on this point, Michael, that Sologenic was going to exist between XRPL and and Coreum. Does that mean the Can you explain how that is exactly going to work? Because I don't want to say it my way. I want you to explain it.
I mean, I'm not super technical. I'd honestly embarrass myself if I tried to explain it.
Mhm.
But from my understanding, I think that they're going to open up the interoperability between Coreum and Sologenic specifically first, and then
Mhm.
they're going to open up more, solutions on the outside within the actual native XRP ledger.
Okay.
That's just my understanding. And again, I'd love to explain it on the technical side, but I would totally embarrass myself if I even
Oh,
tried to go on that level.
absolutely. I understand. And that's why I would like, if possible, because that's something a lot of the members in our community would like to know, the technical part of where Sologenic and Corium will have this mingling going on together. Who is best to explain that? Can we have a space where we have a dev that can put that clarity in our mind by explaining how exactly Sologenic and Corium will work together? I want that to come from a dev. who is
Absolutely.
suitable, who is suitable
Yeah,
to
definitely.
Most likely it's Reza, Crypto Eyes,
Definitely.
whenever
Yeah.
he's
I
ready,
think
whenever
I
he's
think that
free.
that would be a great space.
yes, and if possible, we would like to schedule that very soon. And have our community engagement continue because I think most people here would like to have that answer. And I'm speaking because there's a lot of builders in here in this chat right now. We spoke to the guy from Solar Genesis. I can see Ash is here, and all these guys who have this amazing NFT project on Sologenic. Knowing how that will migrate, or how, if not migrate, how it will exist on Coreum, I think that's very, very important to hear from the dev team. So please, if you can arrange for that explanation to be given to the community, co-counsel, we're happy to organize the space um,
Absolutely.
and have this conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, for anyone who's just now tuning in, the space was totally spontaneous, not coordinated at all. Me and Albert wanted to join Too Cold Space, but she didn't let us up. So we decided to start our own. But, I see a lot of familiar faces in the space, so I want to give a couple shout outs before I have to get out of here. But shout out to Ash, absolute juggernaut within the space. Mackenzie is a absolute legend. Levi, Snakes, Vince, Kenley, Josu, Clyde, Kingpin, Kevin, you guys are all amazing. Even Animal, I know that he's a bit of a hater, but he's within the
We love him. We
ecosystem,
love
and we
Animal.
love him. Yeah, we actually do
You're
love him.
forgetting co-concept is right there.
Yeah.
And Coreum concept, Chris, you are a champ. I felt like it was an unspoken shout out.
Hey, Pig Boy. By the way, Pig Boy
Camel as
got
well.
eight of
I have
his
to shout
friends
out
there.
everybody. You guys are all amazing. Terps, Mr. Clark, Big Boy,
Yeah.
Hey, one. Hey,
everybody.
we asked. We need your favor coin. Coin, Michael. Can you ask Fabio about our humble request for credits on our first project?
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but anytime we'll.
By the end of the week, I'll have a definite answer on. Just give me the details on how many NFTs you're trying to mint, and I think that's all we need. But
Sure.
we're happy to help out the community.
All right. Hey, thanks a lot. That's great to hear. And of course, any final words before you head to bed to the community here? Anything that can inspire them?
Um, I'd say I've been in crypto for a while, and these bear markets can be pretty strenuous. I know we're not all here to just build on an ecosystem. Some of us aren't keen on development, so we're just kind of here to provide. And sometimes it is just an incentive for monetary value, and that's good. But again, like these bear markets can get strenuous. But again, when we get a little bit of clarity on the regulatory side, then I really do believe that green means go. And the sky is the limit for a lot of different blockchains that have that compliancy in mind. Um, yeah, and again, thank you so much for joining the space, and I really appreciate all the support that you guys offer the whole ecosystem, and I love you all.
There.
Thank you, Michael. You're getting
Thank you
wrong.
very much, coin holder, and thank you for spending time with the community. And you're one of the most, if not the most approachable member of the Corium and Sologenic team. I think most people know you, not just your coin holder name, but your first name, which is good. And you're in all spaces. You're in any other community that promotes Sologenic and Corium. I know that the leaders know you in by first name, and they talk to you not just as a business person but as a friend. So that's one thing I could see, is that in your team, that's something that you also provide, other than a lot of your hard work and successful contributions to the business team, like all these exchange listings, wallet integrations, and also all the validators. So much of the work that you've done since you joined third quarter of last year or late third quarter last year all the way to mainnet. I'm sure all the fruits of your labor may not be seen now in terms of price action, but in the coming months, I think a lot of people will get to know that you're not just a community person, but you're really doing a lot of the work behind the scenes. And sometimes people don't you don't people like you don't probably people in the community don't know exactly the exact work that you do, but you tell me a lot, and that's why I run these spaces for people to know that Fabio, yourself, and the rest of the team, your specific roles, and you're actually working even more than your work hours. You hold meetings at 10, 11, 12 midnight, with your counterparts from the Philippines, and you try to ink these partnerships and still sell that. Tell them what smart tokens is. It's not that easy to explain it to other, not other institutions and enterprises, but you still do your best to do it with a lot of energy, and something that you're doing you wouldn't be able to do if you don't really believe in the blockchain. And if you're just collecting a paycheck, I'm sure you would have already quit months ago. But you're here, and you're here because you're here for the future. So everybody who's here, just continue to in your own way. You can always encourage coin holder. And I know that he doesn't really need it. He says that he doesn't need it, but everybody needs a pat on the back. And some of these exchange listings, it sometimes it hurts, when you see all these tweets on like Twitter saying when exchange listing, when Binance, you promised this, you promised that, and then coin, it's like you're doing so much work, and then people are like, it's in your own words, right? It's never enough. It's like sometimes it's just never enough. But guys, like, we're here. It's a bear market, right? Every other coin is struggling now. You can't expect Coreum to be a few $1,000s, and your XRP Bitcoin is still struggling in price, right? So the market also moves together. So don't just be too fixated on the price, but just look at the merits of what they're actually building. And yeah, next week they're going to have a big uh they're going to be hosting and sponsoring a very big hackathon, and we might be able to see some gems that may rise out of this, those 15, 20 teams that will be competing. So there. But yeah, thank you, coin holder. And Ice, do you have anything else to say before we dismiss coin holder from the speakers panel?
Not much to say. Just before we wrap up, with Michael, thank you for coming to our space. It's definitely good to have someone from the team to speak to the community because, again, um, it adds value. And I think moving on with the spaces that we want to host is we want to continue having that voice from the dev or from the business side of the Sologenic or Coreum team speaking to the community. It's really needed in our space because it helps build the confidence of not just the community but all the investors that are in our space. So spaces like this where we can ask questions, where it's open mic for any member to speak, I think they're healthy for the ecosystem. And we thank you for being here. And we'll definitely organize more spaces in the future. And I'm sure members of the community will start writing down their questions for when you come on next. So be ready, Michael, because there's more spaces to
Yeah,
come.
definitely. Yeah, and,
Thank you
I'm
very
not, to
much.
be honest with you guys, I'm not like such an amazing public speaker. I think I actually kind of misrepresent the foundation in a way just by me being up here. I'm being honest. Um, because again, I'm not super technical, but I am very passionate about, this protocol and this blockchain and how it really is solving a unique problem. Um, But again, I genuinely appreciate all the support and everyone who stayed up to listen in on this space. It's truly an honor. And again, Corium, Sologenic, we wouldn't be here if it weren't for you guys. And from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate every one of you.
Thank you very much. And we will definitely let you know when the next space is. And we would like you to always share any information you have with the community.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. Love you all.
And yes, so everybody, we had coin holder here. Normally, when we run spaces, we do an announcement and allow people to set their reminders and schedules so that we get more people to attend the space. But now we were surprised. We got over 30, 35 people to attend and just talk to coin holder and ask freely about what's next for them. Coin holder did mention earlier in our segment. Now it's funny, my topic is a clickbait: end of the bear market, time for Coreum, XRP, and solo. But then we talked about Coreum 99% of the time. But we just wanted to have that space to chat and have this free flowing discussion, and it's healthy for the community to be able to talk with one another and get excited. For core council, we normally run spaces where we organize and have our questions listed down way in advance. So we want to make sure that we're organized and we try to do our best not to just shill corium for shilling's sake. That's not what we do. We barely even talk about the price. If not, that's something that we don't focus on at all. But we focus on what is being built on in the blockchain. Uh, the last time that we had a space, we were talking about the future on tokenization, and then we also had Reza in the past joiner spaces where he talked about Corium becoming that central hub of IBC based chains. And then he later on said in a future, in a space with Bitru, that Corium, in his opinion, he's very confident Corium will be the hub for tokenization in the future. So, what's good to know is that we are a community here. We are doing our best to convey the message and also educate people about the merits of the blockchain. And I think crypto wise, we need to continue to study and learn so that in the future, when we run spaces, we can explain the technology very well, even to developers. And let's try to continue doing that in core council. Even inside our discord, we try to give them macroeconomic news. We try to analyze even regulations and cbdc's that are being built across countries. We've tried our best also to talk about, I'm not an NFT person, but I realize that it's a very good tool to build the community spirit and sense of belongingness. And that's one of the things that we're working on also in core council. We will be launching our NFT collection, our very first NFT collection, and we'll be doing it in partnership with Ash's NFT evolutions. They're experts in this arena, and we're working on it so that we can help also make it a utility NFT, where a lot of the drips will be given back to the holders of these NFTs. And we actually are making sure that our NFTs will not be expensive. Our NFTs, we're doing it not to, make money out of the people. No, we're actually selling it very cheap. And you guys will know more details at our next space, and we're going to mint quite a lot of these NFTs so that our goal is also not just to make it, oh, we want it to be exclusive. We want it to be just limited capacity and limited count and pieces of it. But our goal is actually to build the network. So with that being said, we're actually doing our best to expand, and with the token count, we're actually thinking of minting up to 10,000 of these Corium. We did hint to our community. We call it Corium Punk. So sorry, guys, we already got the was that the trademark and the website for that, so you can't outdo us anymore. but yeah, we had to make sure that we had it covered before we announce it here in that space. But we're trying our best to give more. We'll give more announcements and more details. We'll share more details on the utility of that in the coming weeks. But Crypto Eyes, tell more, share more about it to those who are hearing us now.
Yes. So as you mentioned, it's in partnership with NFT Evolutions. NFT Evolution, they've had a successful launch of a few NFT projects like the X Walkers, the Co-Heroes, and as you can see on the list of validators, you can see the Co-Hero validators. So a lot of the profit that comes from the NFT sale is literally staked on the Co-Hero validator. And a lot of our NFT, all the reward system will be sitting at the Cohero validator as well. So we are supporting that community. They're supporting us, and we are supporting other community that will want to partner with us so that we can build a very healthy ecosystem. And that's what we want to focus on, really community building. Um, the greatest utility is the community, so they say, and we want to make sure that we all benefit from this project. Copunk NFT is really for the entire Coreum ecosystem, and we tried to build this NFT, as Albert mentioned, with utility. That's the key. Because me personally, I was not into NFT because of think an NFT is just a little picture that means nothing. However, it's listening to Ash and Ovi and all these guys from NFT spaces that have built these amazing NFTs with rewards that are just amazing. And I said to myself, if I was to be part of a project, an NFT project, and it's giving rewards to such level, maybe, getting drops of 5, 6 Coreum a month or something like that, I would participate in that NFT because I understand the value of Coreum in the future. So that's what we want to bring to the community. We want to offer something of value than just an NFT, but some utility that comes with NFT, and that's what we're trying to champion ourselves in. And there is going to be so much more. We have not released the white paper yet. We have not released so much of the information that's around the NFT. But again, once all that information is ready, we will definitely share that with the community, and we will have probably Ovi and Jerry, and these guys will probably come on and speak to the community more about what the NFT is all about. But in the meantime, we just want to whet your mouth with an appetite of knowing that something is coming, and co-counsel we're building as well, and we're doing so with partners that are well versed in NFT, and they are passionate about the ecosystem. So we chose the right people to build with. So stay tuned for that, and we will announce when this information will come out.
And by the way, people have been messaging me for the past 2 3 weeks asking me, where the space is, Albert? What's happening with you? Why are you so silent about Corium? Like, we miss you a lot. It's like they're waiting for me to excite them. And it's like I'm becoming a drug to people. Like, come on, Albert. You got to start speaking up. You got to start chilling Corium. We miss your tweets. That's why I was pressured yesterday, and yesterday you saw me tweeting about it. And now, like, oh, okay, now I realize that, all these little encouragements just by being present on Twitter. I know you guys have your familiar faces like Mr. V, Crypto, like all these people who always tweet about Corium. There's like 5 or 10 of us, and, me being silent for a few weeks. You know why I was silent? I was silent because we were working on these projects. Crypto Ice, myself, Mackenzie, Ash here, and many others working behind the scenes. We're under so much pressure. Like, we're working on a website yesterday, so and the website, there's a lot of work that needs to be done, but we wanted to do this because we want to come across in the future as being a very professional and mature community. so that when people approach and look at Corium, they don't just see people who, swear and argue and fight with one another online, but they start to look up to, let's say, Crypto Eyes, myself, as people who they would respect, people that would talk with maturity, and people who are very inclusive. That's why I talk, and Mackenzie, I talk to those people from, let's say, I'll give you an example, would be Proton, Metal Blockchain. And I ended up becoming friends with them. Before, they used to FUD and, attack me left and right. And you know what I did, Mackenzie? I bought a small bag. I bought a bag of metal, and I messaged their founder and told him, "Hey, I bought metal, so please let's build the community together." And I messaged him. I said, "Be prepared to integrate Coreum in your metal blockchain, because Coreum will be owned by a bunch of billionaires, and you need these billionaires to use their Coreum in the United States. So your metal pay will be useful if you onboard Core, because the Core holders will be using it to buy mansions in San Francisco years from now." But then, yeah, but he was laughing, by the way, and then he messaged me, and I said, I have high hopes for you to become the next Fed chairman, and help the billionaires of Corium to use to be able to find it easy to use Corium there in the U.S. in the future. But there, I'm just saying it, everybody. I'm not giving financial advice, everyone, but we're trying to just make it. Yeah, I'm just illustrating a point that we are very inclusive, and Crypto Eyes works very closely, and he's one of the speakers in Crypto Cuties that has a lot of NFT, and also smart contract NFT and developers in the Ethereum blockchain. He's also part of a community that builds on uh, what's that blockchain, Crypto Eyes? There's another one.
I'm with a lot of people, Albert, at the moment. And all this is to bring people into our community. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's the same vision people like at the NFT Evolution. They launched the HBAR Homies
Mm-hmm.
NFTs, and that's with the HBAR network.
Okay.
Um, and these, even though they're exclusively Corium Sologenic XRP builders, they're also extending to other networks so they can bring more people into our ecosystem so they can see what we're building. And that's why Michael mentioned the same point, inclusivity, including other people from different chain to come to our ecosystem to see what we have. um, we need to be open-minded in that sense. And if you look at our partners that we're partnering with, NFT Evolution, they're doing just that. And I'm branching out to different communities, and I'm talking to them about. I know most of them are like Ethereum maxis or HBAR maxis. Some of them believe in completely different blockchains that probably you've never heard of. But all these people, when they hear about the technology of what Corium is about, and when they hear what Corium can do, what we are achieving with NFTs on Sologenic, they're being blown away, and most of them can't wait to even start buying NFTs on Sologenic, because most of these guys buy NFT on Ethereum and it costs them $14-15 just on gas fee, and just to mint an NFT costs like $30 if you mint at the wrong time. So for those reasons, a lot of people, when they understand that we have technology that is much better, much cheaper to utilize, a lot of them are jumping ship and coming towards our ecosystem. And that's the goal of going to talk to this other blockchain, to invite them really to Corium and to Sologenic.
There, I know we have to wrap up in a few minutes because it's also getting very late. But we will definitely have another space in the coming days, and even next week, we might invite those folks from Corium and the Sologenic team. We're still clearing it with them as to the schedule, as to when we're going to run that next space with them. But we want to do it so that we can keep the community engaged, and the community will have accurate information on what the team is doing every day. So now we're very happy. We had Camel here, we had Levi, I can't wait for the next Coreum and Sologenic meetup, and I hope it's in another country. I know we've done it a couple of times in LA, Vegas, and then there's one that occurred in London, but we hope to have another one. Maybe, maybe in the future it will be done somewhere in Asia or Africa. That'll be incredible. And also, I'd like to
Or
thank
Middle
those.
East.
Crypto Eyes.
Or Middle East. I don't mind going to Middle East. Or
Oh,
go to
that too.
Dubai. Have
We
a
can do
clean.
it in Dubai, or Saudi Camel if we're invited there. If there are no restrictions for us to go there, or Qatar, I don't mind going there. Okay, now we're about to end, but I'd like to thank people who attended: Clyde, Josu, Vidas. We had Kevin, Brian, Chris. We had Truth and Consequences. The usual people that were have always been avid followers and listeners of Core Council. Thank you very much, and also Corium Concept. So this space is recorded. You can actually use this if you want to save it and post it in a YouTube. You're more than free to do it. Corium Concepts is one of the one of the core members of Core Council. I know he's dying to have me interviewed, and also Crypto Eyes Core Council to be interviewed in one of his future segments, and I had to delay it because we wanted to have the white paper ready so that we can have a recording with you, Chris, together with the NFT Evolutions team. So maybe if it's not this week, it could be early next week, but we'll let you know. But for the rest who are here, the core, like what Michael said, Corium is here to stay. Bob said himself, 2023 is the year for Corium and Sologenic, and I believe the core council will be at the forefront. We are here to deliver the message. We are here to spread positive vibes, bring energy to the community, tell them and educate them on how to build on Corium. We try to build a network. We have Mackenzie. We have everyone here who's very much part of the core council community. Let's work together, and let's try to also be inclusive of all blockchains. And that's why I try to shy away now from any of these debates on which blockchain is more superior over the other. Like, we've gone past that. We've even gone past any discussion on riddles, on or moon dates. Like, I think we're now, we're finished with the mainnet, and it's time for us to start building, and we have no choice. Core Council is also building, and even my company, my startup, and Michael is telling me to build on Coreum blockchain. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done. And for me, I think one of the last things I'd like to say is, like, Core Council, what feeds us a lot of energy are people like you. And every day that I get messages from people telling us to go on spaces, that keeps me going. And it's also, I think it's also my talent in Crypto Eyes talent, that we research a lot, and we genuinely want to see Bob, Reza, and the team fly and succeed. And our goal is just, we're just one piece of the pie, and we're one piece that we believe also makes a difference, and we're doing our very best every day. And we thank every other community that promotes Corium and Sologenic. We're on the same team, and I'm very much. I also hold a bag of Solo. I also hold a bag of XRP. I'm trying to also hold bags on different blockchains, because my role now is to also be able to build and build a bridge to different blockchains. But hey, thank you everyone. Uh, there you go. Why not we give you the last word, Crypto Eyes?
No, I don't have much to say. Thank you, everybody. We will announce the next space in the coming days. We will post a banner on when that will be. So we'll give everybody heads up. But we want to be more informative and more, we want to give more value to the community like we always do. So it will be a more prepared and well organized space But thank you everybody for chiming in today, and we appreciate your time.
All
We'll
right. Bye
wrap it up.
bye, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye.
Take care,